Over the past 4 days, I've been taking in as much as I can of this beautiful province and its people. Hela has been given many names and labels, a lot of them negative and largely due to the long-held perceptions related to tribal fighting and violent crime.
I think we are suffering from perception. We are suffering from perception issue. They think Hela is killing and fighting and all the landowners are in Hela. We are not all landowners here. We're not killing and fighting here.
Behind the battered image, a lot of work is happening. Small steps that the province hopes will restore confidence in both the systems of government and its people. And it's taken a concerted effort from all sectors. Since the beginning of 2018, Provincial Administrator William Bando and several other provincial leaders and senior members of law enforcement have been negotiating peace between warring clans. Bringing together tribal leaders and making peace was something not specified in their job descriptions.
A lot of lives have been lost, a lot of properties have been damaged. Only after all of these things we realized we made a mistake and we all come around on the same mumu pit for one pig, and that's the end of it. And what about all the loss we've incurred in terms of human lives and properties that we've built over time? And I guess our people have learned some good lessons out of it.
For an outsider trying to understand what goes on here is sometimes mind-boggling. Hela's social problems can't always be simplified, and they're not the kind you usually get in coastal provinces. You have to at least study the complexities of the culture and the politics in order to understand what goes on today.
We tend to forget that there's a mediation process, there's a conflict resolution process, there's a rule of law that needs witnesses. So we just commit ourselves into action. Which flash problems. So a lot of education, a lot of awareness needs to be done, and we need the people to change the attitude.
Perhaps what's least understood is the power and influence the clans have in the communities. Allegiances to the clans dictate behaviors and attitudes. It dictates the politics and the disputes over land.
Not the ground now.
And that power and influence can be used as a force for good or bad.
The clans are defined by blood, are defined by land boundaries, and that follow the blood. And then you have sizable areas. Right?
Former parliamentarian Alfred Kayabe says the clans need formal recognition as a partner in development. He says PNG's adoption of the Westminster system doesn't take into account the governing powers of the clans and their influence.
And if you look deeper, it is the clan that is basically in control of what happens inside the clan. And therefore the loyalty and the responsibility, everything is within the clan. And so, I suggested this morning, the government should now extend, its recognition from the ward level right down to the clan level, so that the clan is firstly institutionalized, it is corporatized, it is unitized as a unit for development, immediately following the ward level.
When warring clans destroyed important infrastructure and when people were killed, Hela went back to the basics. Leaders from the adopted system of government reached out to the clans and began dialogue.
Small arguments lead into big trouble fights. And people need to be equipped and educated and be made aware of how conflict resolutions are done, and that is the area that I need to tackle.
I think I commend the hard work of the Administrator William Bando. He's taken initiative with the governor. They're going straight to the fighting areas and say stop. And the people have laid down their arms already. But to really bring back normalcy, there's still fear in there. They cannot travel from one area to another area. And those are issues that we need to, and nobody will solve it for us, and we alone have to do it.
In many instances, the government justice system doesn't work here. People prefer to settle disputes through mediation, and Hela Province is still trying to find the right mix. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Tari.